Today is the first time my podcast will be a Jeremy solo adventure. It's about how I got where I am today and my mission and vision for general insurance pricing. I studied at the University of Kent and was fortunate to graduate with a first. I also received two awards, one for Best Exam Performance in years 2 and 3, the other for coming top of the faculty. So, armed with this, I began working at a very large multinational insurer. I very quickly gravitated to pricing. I found the work that pricing involves to be what I was most interested in. This is because it's so integral to the business of an insurer. It's a strong determinant of whether the provider sells business profitably or not, and of the customer outcomes. When we set prices, we find out information about how they are received very quickly. There's a feedback loop that tells us how well we have done. At the time, the only other statistical roles in an insurance company were theoretical. One could work extremely hard on building a very complicated model and come out with some numbers, but to be honest, they just weren't important to me. They wouldn't directly affect the customer or the organisation. No one will ever know or care passionately about how accurate they are. For example, if you set the solvency levels for an insurer, unless the company goes insolvent, which should be very unlikely, you'll never really have any idea whether you did a good job or not. So pricing was, and remains, the most interesting to me. Although there are a lot of other roles for statisticians and data scientists in insurance now, such as improving customer journeys or optimizing processes, pricing is great because you quickly start getting feedback on the sales, which can tell you a lot about the adequacy of the prices themselves. You also get claims information, although it takes longer to come through. It's a lot of fun putting the incomplete information together and deciding on the best courses of action. We can ask ourselves what we can do to make the prices better tomorrow. We know we are going to be open and selling policies tomorrow, so what can we do today to make those prices better? As well as the longer term work to price better in a month, 3 months, 6 months, and beyond. I worked on a large range of products, which was a real benefit of being at a large insurer, though at the time the pricing function was undeveloped and frankly underappreciated. But then so were data, IT analytics, and pretty much all the things we now know are essential. I worked on car, home, travel and pet, plus other areas of the business as well. I eventually became the head of technical pricing for the global direct business based in Paris. The global direct part was selling directly to consumers in multiple countries. I worked as an internal consultant, so I travelled to other countries and assisted them in developing their pricing and pricing functions, developing the skills and functions of other people. It was very much a role I enjoyed at the time. We had my daughter whilst we were living in Paris, which was a heck of an adventure on its own. After a few months, we began to feel like we wanted to be back near our families. With children, being away can be quite difficult, especially when you want to spend time with their grandparents, uncles, aunts, and cousins. So we came back to the UK, and I worked as a pricing leader for one of the large providers of car insurance. Although it was interesting, I was not challenged by the role. It was too easy. I'd become used to a large stage with many products and running lots of projects with a large number of people at once. So I started contracting. I was lucky enough to do a contract with a wonderful organisation straight off. It built my confidence and there were great people. I worked a few other contracts, but I began to want to do more. That is when I started to freelance instead. I enjoyed returning to multiple projects at once. It's more fun to have several projects and people I'm working with at the same time. Now I'm in a place where PriceWriters is about training and events. I'm building the abilities of other people again. So that's how I got where I am today. The next question is, what is my mission for general insurance pricing? My mission is that every person who works in general insurance pricing should be supported to develop to the absolute limit of their ambition. So if you are someone who wants to be the best analyst, then we can support you and provide you with what you need to make that happen. And the same, if you want to develop to be a manager or beyond, to head of pricing, director, or even up to the top of a business. While we need to develop people in all steps in their career, I also see there are points in their journey when they especially need help, particularly at transitions that can be difficult. For example, when people first join a pricing team and when they first become managers of other people. I see these two as some of the most difficult transitions in pricing. When people join us, there is often a sharp learning curve because pricing is so different to roles, for example, in data science, data engineering, or IT. They need to know about insurance, for example, regulation, anti selection, moral hazards, products, claims, and so much more. When we initially move people into management roles, it can also be quite a difficult transition. I found it very difficult to go from being responsible only for my own work to a management role where people looked to me for leadership. I also found that there was no good support for me to develop. Every existing management training was generic and focused on people managers in unrelated roles, not about roles where we need to be the technical leaders with expert knowledge that we are expected to impart, while also dealing with the organisation and management side as well. I think that's an area that a lot of people struggle with. There are not enough skilled people for all the management roles, and we see management roles can sit vacant while firms struggle to recruit. Often people are driven forward into these roles because they want to advance, but then they find they don't enjoy them. Some return to analyst level, while others leave for contracting or to be technical leader roles. When we don't have our good people enjoying management and advancement, then it makes it difficult for us to operate truly effective teams that offer opportunity for all. I want pricing leaders to be the most successful and highly valued leaders in all of general insurance, and I don't want people to struggle like I did. I think training should be relevant to us and the types of people we are. So much of the existing material is for totally different roles or for highly extroverted people. This makes no sense because introverted managers are some of the best, and most of the world's richest people are introverts. When people are given management training, it is often the same training that's given to other departments. So it focuses on how to run a team in a call centre or sales area or perhaps claims. There's nothing wrong with those roles, obviously, but they are fundamentally different work in a different environment with different goals, tactics, and strategies. I can remember being in a role play training on management. The entire situation was based on how I would behave with a wayward employee in a customer service team, which is fine, but there was nothing about it that connected with my issues. It also took an us versus them approach to the employee and management dynamic. I just didn't relate to it, and it wasn't what I needed in my work. So I want every pricing leader to reach the level that matches their ambition, and I don't want anyone to give up early. I don't want anyone to feel that their potential is unfulfilled. This is why we run PriceWriters, and it's why we're offering our free monthly masterclasses. We had over 100 pricing professionals join us for the last one, which was rated 4.5 stars by those who came. It was on price strategy, and we'll be doing more in future. One a month until we've worked through all of the 9 steps in the PriceWriter method. Then we'll start over again. The final question is, what is my vision for general insurance pricing? I want every team to be staffed with highly skilled and knowledgeable pricers, so that every pricing person and every pricing team are highly regarded, meet their objectives, and achieve their sales and loss ratio targets. That every organisation retains great people in pricing, and we don't lose them to other work. We value them and they are well rewarded too. My vision for general insurance pricing is also that every customer should be charged the exact right price. That price is not the same for every organisation or at every point in time. It's the price that's just right for that customer, for your product, for your company at that time. It's forever changing. I term it the Goldilocks price. I want every company to be able to charge the right price without difficulties in gaining enough staff or data or the knowledge, or perhaps struggling with a pricing platform that doesn't do what they need. With all pricing lined up with the goals, values, and strategy of the organisation. That's my vision for general insurance pricing. So that's it from me today. We'll be back next time with the regular format and an interview with a pricing leader. Have a great day. Bye.